Hello YouTube, my name is Travis Daniel Ashley, and this is what I believe is my FNAF theory. I'm actually at school right now, but they're letting me do this. So, people watch GT Live, they watch all these other theories, but actually, the real timeline, I mean, come on, sister location in 1875 or 1975, that wouldn't make any sense comparing the timelines. Neither 1995, because Freddy Fazbear came in 1987 to 1992, but Fredbear and Friends came just a little after sister location. In my opinion, 1981 was the very first Fredbear and Friends, but it was only first Spring Bonnie and first Freddy, which is Spring Freddy, which after recycled in 1982 became Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie. In 1983, after the sister location was built underground, and we obviously know they were not haunted until they killed the children and put them inside of them. William Afton is the one who did this. Purple Guy is innocent, because Purple Guy is Michael Afton, William Afton's son. And because of Innard being all of these animatronics combined, they're endoskeletons, we can deduce that because Innard entered Michael, but Michael puked him out, that because Innard was puked out, Innard was no longer Michael Afton. Michael couldn't have killed these children. Who could be the likely suspect? If you're thinking William Afton, you're actually absolutely wrong. Because he couldn't go anywhere near the Freddy Fazbear establishment after he killed the first victim, which became Marionette. And I know that a lot of people are thinking I'm scientific, but I just take details out of the specific ones. So, after he couldn't show his face on Freddy Fazbear's grounds, William Afton was working there. Which, oh God, I said William Afton. Michael Afton, which changed his name to Mike Schmidt. The first person you play in FNAF 1. So, what happened? Who was the very first animatronics? Why were they scrapped? Well, we obviously know that Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy don't show themselves very often, unless you think in the Easter eggs in FNAF 2. But a lot of people on the internet believe that Shadow Freddy was the one who did it because he led the animatronics to their doom by what people say William Afton, but it's actually Michael Afton. Why would Michael Afton do this? In fear of dying? You're immortal. Michael Afton became immortal because of Baby's curse. And we all know that he wasn't like that before. Don't believe a lot of that book because GT Live and them won't show you everything. So, here's what I think. 1981, Spring Freddy and Spring Bonnie. Scrapped, became Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy. 1982 and 1983, between those times, Circus Babies, Pete's, whatever the place is called, was built. Rented for parties. During 1983 to 1987, Fredbear and Friends was built, and the baby animatronics were scrapped. 1987, the bite of 87 victim. Michael Afton felt horrible about how his baby brother about it. This is true, and he did do it. But he didn't know what spring lock animatronics were at the time. Marionette was the first William Afton victim. Became the puppet that we know as Marionette. Then, because of that, he took 3 children, placed them in Bonnie the Money, Chica the chicken, Foxy the pirate fox. And he took the Bite of 87 victim and placed him inside of, in my opinion, Freddy Fazbear. Because Fredbear was reduced down to Freddy Fazbear. A lot of people can agree with me that Freddy Fazbear and Golden Freddy are basically the same thing. One has no endoskeleton and one does. That's the only difference, people. Think straight. Not telling you to think straight, it's just your idea, your own thinking way of doing it, but obviously, think about it. FNAF 1 Golden Freddy, FNAF 1 Freddy Fazbear, take a look at both of them, stand Golden Freddy up right next to regular Freddy, and you'll see what I'm talking about. After William Afton / Mike, I'm an idiot, sorry, got so much going. Michael Afton, which became Mike Schmidt. Well, they thought that he was William Afton. Shadow Freddy didn't care which one. It would just be revenge anyways. Sorry, I had to make sure it was still recording. And so, if you think William Afton, killer, Michael Afton / Mike Schmidt. So, we have to think, who is the one who can make an animatronic do something? Now, Shadow Freddy can change the animatronic's minds to make sure they don't do this, but do the opposite. We know that for a fact. But Shadow Bonnie, what can he do? Well, Shadow Bonnie does the opposite. Instead of Shadow Freddy holding his hand out and telling you to do something, instead, he can take control of your entire body. Yes, people, that's what he can do. So, who says that he can't take control of Mike Schmidt's body? And because of that, and Shadow Freddy was not leading them to their doom. If you guys play Final Nights 2, Sins of the Father, this guy literally had the best idea. Because that opening that you try to exit, you can't exit because that's the exit door. And Freddy and them didn't move. They did not move. Scott made it look like that so you wouldn't figure that out. And Purple Guy / Mike Schmidt / Michael Afton came up behind with the crank and smashed every animatronic that Shadow Freddy tried to lure outside to get them away from Michael Afton. Sorry. And so, because of this, Puppet forced Michael Afton into Spring Bunny suit. Spring lock. But that was because the puppet did that. He was under a part where there's no rain. And laughing, that's not enough to get the spring locks go off. 1992, after the place did burn down, they created the toy animatronics, which gave you the withered animatronics. I'm an idiot. Everything but before that I said the toy animatronics, 1987, the unwithered versions came in 1985, between 1983 and 1987, they did build another Freddy Fazbear location, which gave you the unwithered animatronics. After this place shut down, they took scraps off the unwithered, which gave you withered, and the toy animatronics. Well, after this place was shut down, they gave you Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Money, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Pirate Fox. FNAF 1 location animatronics. So, after this place burned down, 30 years later, after being locked inside of a boarded room, that's when Springtrap came about. And then Springtrap used a thing similar to Shadow Bonnie, which he has the ability to conjure up phantoms. So he conjured up mindless, stupid, moron phantoms who does his bidding, which gave you FNAF 3. And FNAF 4 came from the Bite of 87 victim. Obviously, because he didn't know what he was seeing and he saw his older brother put a guy in a suit. He thought this was a bad thing. He didn't see no murder go on. This is a child we're talking about. Any child, when they see that, would think, oh my god, they just killed this guy. So, now that you know everything about the FNAF timeline, from me, you can tell me in your own opinion whether or not I'm right or I'm wrong. Just tell me in comments. And if you like this video, comment below if you want me to do a gaming video or another theory video. Or like and subscribe. See you later. This Fox is going out.